Hey, this is Lena from Infected Rain, and you're watching Interview Under Fire.
Lena, I want to welcome you to Interview Under Fire for the first time. Hopefully this is the beginning of many more to come. And welcome to Texas. Obviously, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me today. Now, this is an exciting thing to do again, like interviews. Like, how many have you done so far on this tour?
At least one a day, I want to say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Try getting used to it at least?
I mean, during the pandemic, I did a lot of interviews,
right.
Video interviews. So it's not that I was really not used to it. Shows and meeting people, that's a different thing.
Yeah, and obviously, how are you considering the hell we've been through with just 2020? I know it's a loaded question, but I feel like asking a question like, how are you, is a very important one.
Thank you. It is. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good, better than when everything was just happening and nobody could answer when are we going to get back on the road, when is this going to finish, and when everything, when.
Yeah.
Nobody could answer this question. So I believe for everybody in show business in general, not just for us, it was very challenging a year and a half to just, I don't know.
Yeah. And
so now that things are getting slowly but surely a little bit back to normal, or the new normal, I guess, I'm feeling better for sure.
And here we are at Trees. This was one of the more popular venues here in Dallas. You're talking about touring, right? You've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
When I say the date August 3rd, 2008, what comes to your mind?
Very first show of Infected Rain. Very first show, 13 years ago.
Do you ever had time to just reflect on that time? Do you ever go back and just watch yourself perform? It's like...
So we are preparing something really interesting for our fans and listeners for this big number, the 13.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we had to dig into archives, and it was a lot of fun to see certain footages from 13 years ago, definitely. But I do remember one thing very clearly. When I stepped on that stage 13 years ago, I knew I'm gonna try my best to do this for as long as I can.
And speaking of touring, here we are. Fast forward to today. I mean, you guys have performed, at places like Red Alert Fest and Rockstead, with Full Force and Route 68 to name a few. And you've performed with some of my personal favorites. We talked about Ginger. We talked about bands like Obituary, Behemoth, and Catatonia to name a few. Do you have a newfound appreciation of the tour life now?
What do you mean?
Before the pandemic started, things that we're grateful for. Now you look back on it, it's like, man, now something simple as waking up on a tour bus in the morning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it always was there, because we see the small things that surround us. Obviously, when you're doing this all the time, subconsciously, not really on purpose, you take certain things for granted, like showers.
Right.
Or I don't know, or a cup of warm meal instead of just, sandwiches, or very fast cooking meals or preparing meals, even if they are healthy, or a cup of tea or coffee, a good coffee, things like that you take for granted. But then when you're on tour, you're like, man, I would walk even 5 miles if needed for a good cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
Coffee's a priority.
Yeah, coffee, good cup of coffee, because there are a lot of places that serve you coffee, but it's just definitely certain things like that. But other than that, we appreciate every single thing when it comes to touring. Doesn't matter, festivals or club shows. Mm-hmm. We love it. We love it so much, and we would, if it was up to us, we would be on the road every day.
And how has it been, being on the road every day? I mean, you're here with Stitched Up Hard and Butcher Babies, some of the heavy hitters in metal alongside yourselves. How has the tour been? I know we're reaching towards the end of the tour, right?
Yes, we have almost 2 more weeks, I believe, altogether until the end.
Kind of feels like everything went by in a blink, right?
It did very fast. But I want to say that this tour is very unique because I'm very close friends with Heidi and Henry from Butcher Babies, and we planned to make this happen as soon as we became close friends, which was actually during the pandemic. We know each other for the longest time, but during the pandemic we became closer and closer. They moved to Vegas, where I lived for years, and we wanted to make this happen. And when this finally happened, together with the help of our tour managers, our band managers and labels or whatever, everybody put their own effort together for this to happen, and I can't be more grateful, because it's one thing to just be on tour. It's another thing to be on tour with friends and just like hang out before, after show, but also be very professional about what you do, because we know how much it means for them, they know how much this means for us, and it's just a completely different type of experience. Speaking of experience, I want to talk about bananas. Okay. Party time. Excellent. Tell me about that, because this is something that you really took your time with during the pandemic. Correct. You know, speaking of looking back on things, how has that been going? Is that something that's just going to be still a consistent part of your life going forward? Oh yeah. I started my YouTube channel a year prior to the pandemic, so it was already something I wanted to do. I am already considering maybe also including Twitch. I will see. I'm not a big gamer. Everyone's doing that these days. Everyone is doing that these days, and I feel like it is really good for fans and music listeners, so there's so much more that we can share live at the same time. So I love it. I only started the party time excellent season during the pandemic, because I was doing it remotely via Skype, and then like we would edit the videos together. But if I can, I will just do them in person. That's it, you know, the talking to people, the conversations I have with the people. And I feel like that's an extension of yourself. For as long as I've been a fan of yours and listening to the music you have, it was really nice to see just that part of you. Thank you. For fans to really connect, I think that really shows a dedication to your craft, another side of yourself that people may not have access to, you know? Well, that's the point. So when I was very... I was putting that on the shelf for a while. A lot of people told me, you need a YouTube channel, you need a YouTube channel. You have so much to share with people. You do this, you do that, and people want to see that. I was nervous because I was like, sooner or later I will run out of ideas of what to film. But then I came to the conclusion that I much rather give people myself the way I am than just let them assume from interviews and or whoever talks about me or the band. So I decided just to be myself and share that with the world. And speaking of sharing, you know, with Infected Rain, by the way, I hope you keep doing that, because that really shows. I mean, I think that's important to show that part of yourself as an artist and as a person. Now, with Infected Rain, you guys have had these genres of, you know, new metal and metalcore and melodic death metal, but with the twist of everything that you are. Lena, you mentioned how, you know, your lyrics, it was always about, you know, being honest, being yourself, and how the lyrics are based on, you know, your own experiences, your disappointments in life, your fears, everything else in between. Did these last 2 years open up something new that maybe we can expect for the new album? Absolutely. January 2022, I know you roughly talked about it. Yes, so January 2022, our 5th album is going to be released, and it definitely has a lot of emotions prior to the pandemic and some about what was happening during the pandemic, my thoughts about it, and not just that, but all the riots and everything was going on in the world, you know, the catastrophes in the nature and everything. Everything is going to be included there for sure. Yeah. Now we're reaching the last part of our interview, so I mentioned that surprise, right? So here's what we're going to do. This is something I call the lightning round. I do it with a lot of my guests. I didn't do it with Tatiana, but I'm going to see if I can do that. This is the first time I'm doing it in person. Okay. So I'm going to pick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a question. You just pick one or the other. You have to. And I never can pick both. We'll see, but you have to think quick on your feet, okay? Holy shit. All right. Ready. Ready. Here we go. Red or blue? Red. Vegan or meat? Vegan. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Super Mario Brothers or Zelda? Of course, Super Mario. Star Wars or Harry Potter? Oh shit. Star Wars. Favorite character from Star Wars? Yoda.
Mexican food or Italian food?
Real Italian food from Italy, not American Italian though.
Oh, okay, that's a good one. Well, I was gonna say there's a Mexican food, but Italian food.
I love Mexican food. Oh, so much.
There's a place called Fuzzy's Tacos, and there's also one right there called, I forgot what it's called, but they have vegan tacos on that side.
Yeah.
It's really great. Okay, invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Country or K-pop?
Whoa.
You have to pick one or the other.
What?
Country or K-pop?
Country?
Okay.
Yeah.
Halloween or Christmas?
Halloween.
Los Angeles or Chicago?
Oh, come on. I live closer to LA, so I will choose LA.
Embrace eternity or 86?
Both.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's one of them. All right. If Voldemort offered you a hug, would you accept?
Absolutely.
Oh wow, you didn't hesitate. Okay. Would you rather?
I like bad boys.
Would you rather
And girls.
be able to speak every language in the world, or be able to talk to animals?
Animals, 100%.
All right. Now I gotta ask: would you rather lose all your hair or gain 50% more hair?
I would much rather be bald. Yeah, bald girls especially look like aliens. They look absolutely great.
Hey, you never know. You look for like new albums. We'll see. Okay.
No. I'm not giving up my dreads, but if that was the choice.
All right. There's a time machine in front of you, and the destination says Woodstock 99. Do you take the trip knowing what happens there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because Woodstock 99, I mean, that's like one of the most important concerts in all of music.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's a documentary on HBO. I don't know if you had a chance to go see it.
No, I didn't yet. No.
So it's pretty amazing. All right. Last one. If you weren't a musician, what would you be doing right now? Has that ever crossed your mind?
That is a super easy question. Prior to being a musician, I was a hair and makeup artist, a very successful one too, for many, many years. And I was planning to do that before music took over. So I would probably do that now.
Now, on the fly, your tattoos, what is one that has a lot of meaning?
All of them.
All of them?
I have a lot of band-related tattoos. This one is probably my favorite because it's related to my sisters, the Powerpuff Girls.
That's cool.
But yeah, all of my tattoos mean stuff for me, so yeah, for sure.
Well, Lena, this has been an honor. Do you have any last words? Just any shout-outs? Anything you'd like to plug in?
I just want to say thank you for having me, and whoever is watching, support your beloved bands, support your artists. We need you so much. Thank you.
Walking through the shadowy unknown, a line of thorns and broken dreams aloud. My face crushed from poisonous branches. My tired feet drag me through puddles of leeches. Emptiness and hopelessness, emptiness and hopelessness, emptiness and hopelessness and brooder in my skin, and nothing of possessions spiraling around my head, oblivious to where I've gone or where I've been. I can recall what brought me here.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Interview Under Fire podcast. If you guys liked what you heard, please subscribe and share our channel. And please leave a 5-star review, as that helps us tremendously. If you'd like to check out more, visit www.interviewunderfire.com or our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And finally, we want to thank you all for the support you've been giving us. Keep it burning.